Hello YouTube, welcome back. It has been quite a while since we've last caught up. I'm sorry it's been so long since I posted a video. I did want to give you guys a quick update on everything that's been going on with Heather and I for the last few months. When you last caught us, we were living in Texas, and Heather had actually just made the decision to extend her travel nursing contract for another 3 months, so we'd planned to actually live in Texas through the summer. Around the time that all that was happening, Heather's grandpa had unfortunately gone back into the hospital, and I won't get into a lot of the details, but he went through a fairly lengthy hospital stay. He was in rehab for about a month or so, and around the time that we were starting the next contract, he was actually getting ready to transition back into his apartment in St. Louis. Heather's grandfather is 87 years old. He does live by himself, and her younger sister Emma has been doing a lot of the care and running him to appointments and things like that up until this time, because she also lives in St. Louis and actually lives in the same building. And given some of his recent health needs, it was just not manageable for her to continue to do that on her own. So Heather and I made the decision to move back to St. Louis for a few months to get him back on his feet. Unfortunately, we weren't able to take the RV with us. We had ideally wanted to, but there just wasn't really any places around downtown St. Louis that we could find availability for the RV. So we parked the RV back at the house in Phoenix and then drove to St. Louis and actually moved into the building with her grandpa. Now I was kind of excited about living downtown again. We had lived in the city of Phoenix prior to setting off with the RV, but we weren't downtown. We weren't in a place where you could walk to restaurants and bars and things like that. And the area where her grandfather lives is literally right downtown, right across from the Arch. So a lot of awesome restaurants and fun things to do in that area. The first month we were there, honestly, was pretty focused on just getting Grandpa back on his feet. We had a lot of doctor's appointments. We created this calendar schedule so we could divide up responsibilities, be sure everybody knew who was doing what. We spent the first month or so really focused on getting all of that dialed in. And once we got to a good routine and got everything working, got some home health aides coming in, some PT for rehab, stuff like that, we were able to spend a little bit more time exploring St. Louis. Now, anybody who knows me knows I have a special place in my heart for St. Louis. I have said in the past, and I will absolutely say, especially after living there for the last few months, St. Louis is one of the most underrated cities in the country. It is an awesome city. The people are amazing, the cost of living is low, and one of my favorite things about St. Louis, there's a ton of free outdoor activities to do. In the time we were there, we went and saw Shakespeare in the park, we went and saw the Chuli exhibit and the gardens, we went to the zoo, and sorry San Diego, but St. Louis does have the best zoo in the country, and I've been to both many times. The Arch grounds are absolutely gorgeous. In addition to seeing the Arch itself, it's just a really fun place to hang out for the day. And I'll tell you, downtown St. Louis still has its downtown St. Louis things going on, but it's a lot nicer than I ever remember. Heather and I had a lot of fun going out to bars and restaurants just walking distance from the apartment. Stanley Cigar Bar was one of our favorites. They have live jazz almost every night. Really awesome people. Just a good vibe there. We really enjoyed that. If you ever go to St. Louis, you of course have to do barbecue. And Sugar Fire downtown is just awesome, awesome food. I would highly recommend going there. That was a very exciting thing to have so close to us. And then of course it wouldn't be St. Louis without a Cardinal game. One of the big benefits of Fire that I didn't think I would have to utilize quite so quickly was really having that flexibility of time. Had I still been working, it would have been very difficult to just up and move to St. Louis for a few months. If you remember from a past video, I really wanted to focus more of my time on 3 core areas: relaxation, learning new things, and getting in the best shape of my life. One of my primary goals, which is to get in the best shape of my life. So we'll see how it goes. Certainly on the relaxation front, I have gotten a chance to spend a lot more time relaxing. One of the things I loved about the place we lived in St. Louis is it had a rooftop pool on the 29th floor. So I spent a lot of time up there at that rooftop pool. On the learning front, obviously one of my core focus areas was supposed to be photography and video editing, and honestly that took a little bit of a backseat while we were in St. Louis. But I did get a chance to really dial in my barbecue ribs, so I was excited about that. In the future, I plan to make a video on how you can smoke meats with really small space, so if you live in an apartment or if you live in an RV. And then last area, on getting in the best shape of my life. I am not there yet, but I feel like I have made really good progress. When I left Phoenix for Texas, I was physically in a really bad spot. The last few months in Phoenix were extremely stressful, just getting all the repairs done to the house and getting everything ready for the Airbnb. Also the huge life move, getting the camper set up, downsizing all our stuff. It was just a really stressful time. And so one of the things I tend to do when I get really stressed out is I stop eating. And so I was really only eating about a meal a day. I got down to about 150 pounds. I hadn't worked out for 6 months probably leading up to moving to Texas. So I was starting from rock bottom on this physical journey. And while I'm not in the best shape of my life just yet, I have managed to put on about 20 pounds. I've gotten a lot stronger on my lifts. Don't worry, I'm not going to show you guys a bunch of weird workout videos or anything like that. But I probably will do a video in the future on that journey specifically. But things are really going well with that. So that was a little bit of an update on what we've been spending the last few months doing. I am, again, really happy to report that Grandpa's in a great spot. And so with that, Heather started looking for new travel nursing contracts across the country, and we landed in sunny San Diego. These last few months were a little bit of an unexpected turn, but we are back in the RV, back doing the travel thing again, and really excited to show you guys more content here in the future. Thanks as always for tuning in. This has been Jeff J. O'Toole with Life After Fire.